Yes, good afternoon. In this video, I would like to visit another place where we can find a dodecagonal pattern. It means pattern with 12 fold symmetry, and this is the place in Umayyad Mosque in Damascus. This is famous mosque, and there's a lot about it at Wikipedia. You can find Umayyad Mosque there and its history and a lot of references about it and so on. From my point of view, this pattern, you have it here on the screen. In fact, I couldn't find a proper good photo of this pattern. This, what you have on the screen, comes from large photograph, and it was just a small picture, small fragment of this photograph. So I had to cut it out, enhance and so on. So you see the coloring on the left side is stronger, on the right side is rather weak. But I think that is enough for us. Also, the colors are not really probably correct because the photo was really bad. And you see the colors here are darker, on the right side are whiter, so it is hard to choose whatever we have. Okay, let me to start this talking about this pattern. So what I did, I prepared a color palette that I will be using for this design. It is quite average color palette. It is not reflecting left side or right side. It's something in the middle, something, let's say, made just to fit roughly into this design. Now, this was the panel, and this is the panel on the column in Umayyad Mosque when you are leaving mosque and you're going outside. So if you draw this line, and you will make it red like always. So this is the mirror line. Then you have another line that looks like this. Now, the pattern is interlace. So we will have to remember about this in the future, but at the moment, it is enough to do one of these four parts. So if I start drawing, you see we have a nice star, and this is the star with 12 corners. Okay, you can make this star, this drawing more accurate, but it is hard to get it. Now look what we are getting here. And then I think like this, and then it looks like this, and then this way, and then just like this. Okay, so this is my guess how we could reconstruct this pattern. We have what? We have triangles, and you will find later that these triangles are equilateral triangles. Also, you have squares, and the square here, and then of course you have to notice you have squares here. Okay, they are on the edge, so they should look like this. Okay, and of course you have this dodecagon like the one here. Okay, and then you have a lot of decorations inside of this dodecagonal star and so on. There is also a specific shape that is worth mentioning because this shape you can find in a few other designs, and in mathematics we call it a shield. Okay, a shield. So that's the place that make it larger so you can, okay. So the shield is this shape that you have here. You will see how it looks when we start drawing it. So let me to start the way like I always do. Okay, so horizontal line, this is the bottom edge. Construct two perpendicular lines. Now double click on the right corner, take this line, rotate, and how much? 90 degrees divided by 6. Okay, I will just take this line thin, so, and then transform, rotate, and then transform, rotate like this, and then rotate like this, and finally transform, rotate again. Okay, so we got the network for the bottom part. And then I will do this for the top part, construct perpendicular line, and then take this line, transform, rotate, but this time I want to rotate it the other direction. Okay, so transform, rotate, okay, and then, yes, okay, and then this will be the next line, so transform, rotate it like this. Okay, so let's count everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this angle was 90 degrees divided by into 6 parts. Then the top one was divided into 6 parts. And now look, here, if I draw this segment, okay, I know that you don't see much. Properties, make it transparent. Okay, if I draw this segment, this will be the segment connecting these 2 points. So I will just draw it like this because it is convenient to have it. And now, if you have this part of the drawing, you have practically everything. Why? So, look, I start by a circle here. And now make this line medium size. This is the square that is like this, okay? So I got the square, and now the lines here are just enough for everything. You don't need to do much because the central part is just nicely done. Okay, so you got this. Okay, and now we have to finish the bottom part and the top part. So file, document options, add, duplicate page 5, okay, and then what I do a circle this way, and I do a circle this way. Notice that each circle is passing through the points that we already have. We have these points already. So just a small addition that will come here, and you see how far we went. Yes, and then we got this, and the same as here. Okay, so we got the whole tessellation very simple way. So File, Document, Options, Add, Duplicate page 6, okay. And now it is time to start cleaning. Before I will start cleaning, I have to draw lines, just like this, because otherwise everything will disappear. And now what I do. Going to the line tool, I select the double arrow line. So edit, select all lines, display, hide lines. Okay, this is what we got. Now I don't need circles, so hide the circles. And now I can add some extra. Okay, but make it thin, because really this is something that we just need to help us. Okay, so we got the tessellation, but what about the shield? If I make the right edge as a mirror, if I select these segments, transform, reflect, you see, this is what we got. We got the shield. And it has a right angle, and right angle. And then the angle here, we can measure it quite easily. So measure this angle. It is 150 degrees. Okay, this one here, okay, if you measure it, measure angle is 90 degrees, like I said. So triangle, square, and dodecagon are regular polygons. So these are the regular polygons. Okay, and because the regular polygons have all angles and edges equal. So each edge in triangle, each edge is the same length, and all in square, in dodecagon. In a shield, angles may be different, but all edges are the same length. So sometimes in mathematics they call it semiregular polygon, and this is what you have here. The shield and semiregular polygon mean exactly the same. So fine, we can start working on it. Okay, I'm just looking if I have. Now let's go to the next page. Add, duplicate page 7. Okay, and now in the page 7 I will remove all these things. Okay, I will also remove the labels. Okay, just like this. So I have clean tessellation, and I will use it later. But now let me to add one page more, duplicate page 8. Okay, now I wish to cut it out because the tessellation is on the previous page. You see, pages 7 and 8 have the same tessellation. And at the moment I can hide my colors this way. And now, what kind of shapes we have here? One of the shapes is the triangle. And the triangle, I make it big. Okay, so this is my triangle. I just draw lines. Okay, so that's my triangle. And then I will just construct a midpoint, okay, so I can have a symmetry line, okay, and just look what is happening with this triangle. The pattern is just connecting midpoints, so construct midpoints, okay, and our pattern is just connecting them like this, okay. So that's what we got. Now this line, this is just a supplementary line, so make it thin. You can make it even black. So this is the supplementary line. It is symmetry line. Okay. So if this is symmetry line, so we can think how we can build a pattern into this triangle. The best thing, I think, it will be like this. First, I will just select a midpoint and then I will divide this part into 3 parts. Okay, so I divided the whole half segment into 6 equal parts. I don't need these 2 points, so display height. Okay, and then I need 1 point on the right side, so that is this. Okay, now what I do, I take these 2 points, this line, construct parallel lines, okay, now the same, and then construct parallel lines. Okay, so we are in good shape because we got the angle. So let's select the points, end point and right point of the triangle. Now, these 2 points, you can select the midpoint and these lines. And then you can make a new tool saying for lines. Okay, so the 4 lines, this is an extra tool that works like this. And that's fine, we are happy with this. We will use it later. Now, what I will do, I will just make a double click on this edge, transform, reflect. Okay, and look, I have practically everything to make a pattern for the triangle. So cut these red segments, we don't need them anymore, and let's start drawing. So I will draw a line like this. I have to make it thicker because otherwise you will not see it on the screen. And now I am breaking it on the symmetry line, and then I do a thing like this. Okay, so that is fine. Now, if you look at any triangle, you see, okay, that's a good thing. The line is going to the left. Okay, this is interlace, and the line is going like this, just like this, and then like this. Okay, so we got quite far away with this, and then hide lines. Okay, I don't need the midpoints here, so display hide them. Now I have to start coloring. So what I do, I just go this way, and like this. Okay, and which color we should use for the edge? I think this one will be absolutely fine. Color the other one. Okay, that is fine. And then this is the one here. And then you can make Okay, okay, just my speaker is sometimes making trouble. Okay, so I have polygons. You don't see them much because on the white screen, but you will see them later when you will. Okay, and now the interior. For the interior, for the triangle, I will use, okay, where I have triangle, okay, I will use this greenish color. So display color, the other one like this, and then another part. Yes, okay, so I got what I wanted. Now display line style absolutely. I don't need to put here any color because simply I will use a dark okay, dark pink color or something similar for the whole background. Okay, so what I do, I'm just removing hide segments. Now I say edit, select all points, and just leave these 2 points only and then hide points. So this is the pattern for the triangle and just make a fill. So pattern for triangle. Okay, now we had our tessellation here and we have it here. Okay, I I think I will make another copy, document options, add duplicate page 8. Okay, I will just keep it here. Okay, and this will be our testing page. So let's pattern for the triangle how it works. It works quite fine. So this testing is for us a good opportunity. Now the next part. Okay, so we did this. I will make it smaller so you can just keep it somewhere outside. And now the square. Okay, having square is like this. Okay, so that's my square. I need edges or I don't need. Okay, where I have my square. Hey, what happened? Okay, Control Z. Oh well, these points were selected. Now remove the polygon. We don't need the polygon. Okay, so that is going here. And now what we do? We just go to the 4 lines. Okay, look, this is what is enough to make the pattern for the square, but you can also go this way, and you can go this way, and you can go this way. Okay, we got so many lines, and okay, and we have to just get out of this. Okay. Hey, what happened? We have to get out of this. So the first thing is just a segment here. Display line style medium, display color black. Okay, so we got this. Then another line like this. Then just this way, and then this way, and then this way. Okay, you see, we have outline of the pattern for the square, and then yes, and then like this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we got whatever we wanted to get. Okay. Now select all lines and display height parallel lines. Okay. So we have pattern for the square, and now interlace. Interlace is going this way. Okay. And then like this. Now, of course, we need these edges of the marble pieces. So this is like this. Remember about the the symmetry line. Okay. And also a symmetry line here, because we will be splitting this pattern on the corners. So display line style thin, and now we can do. How we can do? That is simple. Okay, and now color it this way. Display color the other way. Okay, and now take this point, select this polygon, transform, rotate 90 degrees, transform, rotate 90 degrees, and transform, rotate 90 degrees. Okay, so we got now interior of the square. In fact, we could make something extra here, but it will just take more time. So I will just leave out my decorations, and this part should be dark, should be just like this. So display color, the other one, it is this. And now again, transform, rotate, transform, rotate, and then transform, rotate. Okay, so we got the pattern for the square. I said we could make some extra things inside, but I would just leave this out. So display line style thin, but when you will be doing this pattern on your own, you can add some extra decorations like those that you have here. So hide these objects. Now points, edit, select all points, and I need only these 2 points. So display hide points. Okay, so that is the pattern for the square. Now create a new tool for square. Okay, so we have pattern for the square. Now we have go back to our testing page. How it looks. Okay, this is what we get here. And now you got it here. Look, what I did was important. Okay, height. Okay, did we make a good job? No. Okay, so we have to go back, because you see what will happen here. Again, the same. We just, so Control Z, and now let's go here. Now Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Okay, and then what I will do, just like this. Okay, first of all, I will remove these polygons. Okay, and just remember, according to the testing page, we had mirrors like this. Okay, so what we do, we just do this. We just split the polygon into two parts, just like this. Again, double click, select these two triangles, transform, rotate, transform, rotate, and transform, rotate. Okay, the same, exactly the same we have to do for the edge. Okay, so we have to make it this color. Okay, and then I can just simplify work, so transform and reflect. Now select these two polygons and you still have the rotation point, transform, rotate 90 degrees, transform, rotate 90 degrees, transform, rotate 90 degrees. Okay, and now what we do, we just hide all these extra lines, and this one, hide them. Now edit, select all points. Okay, I need only these 2 points and just ask hide points. Okay, so this is what I got, and this is our improved pattern for the square. And just make a tool pattern for, okay, for square, just like this. And Sketchpad is telling us that we have this tool already, just replace it. And now go back to this page, okay, and see if our tool will be working fine. Look, what will happen here. If I select it like this, I can hide this part. I can hide this part. Okay, so this is the reason why we are making these tricks with the mirror lines. Okay, now you remember the angles for the shield. 90 degrees, 150 degrees. So let's make a new page, document options, add duplicate page 10. Okay, I don't need anything here. I don't need anything here. And I will start developing my shield. Okay, so one segment. Make it red at least. Okay. Now double click, and this is what? Rotate 90 degrees. That is fine. Now double click here, take this point, transform, rotate. Now rotating minus 150 degrees. That's perfectly fine. Now, again, double click on this point, transform, rotate, this time minus 90. Okay, and now again, double click and then transform, rotate, minus 150. Okay, and we can finish our tool like this. So that is our shield. If you want, you can make an extra tool and just write it down. Okay, yes. And now let's go back to our tools. We had the 4 lines tool. Okay, it looks like this. Okay, listen, I just want to simplify whatever we do. So let me to do this. Okay, I will be quite fine with this, what I am getting. So these are the mirror lines. Okay. The shield is cut into two parts. So one of them will be the mirror line. We have to decide. This was the first edge. So let's start. Let's think that this is the mirror line for cutting the shield. Okay, and we'll have to deal with this in some way. Now, the four lines. I do this way. Okay, I can do it also this way. And that's enough for me. So what I do, first I do the internal part and make it black. Okay, and then like this. Now the outside part. Okay, the same I'm doing on the other part. But look, I'm just trying to save my time. So I just do pattern for only part of this. Now the interlace going to the left. Okay, now it is under, and of course here is the division, and then it's still under, so it should go over. Okay, so that is fine. Now select all lines. You don't need these lines. Edit, hide these lines. Okay, and now what we can do, we can just draw. Okay, and then double click, transform, reflect. We got this. Okay, now what is the interior of this shape? The interior is one of these dark colors. So it is like this, and we should choose, okay, I will choose the same one, color, the other one, okay, and then transform, reflect. Okay, now this part of the shield is just connecting here. We don't have this connection, which simply means that our belts are not wide enough. But we can live with this, and if you will be doing this in the future, you can always make it better. Now, what I do, I select first polygons, just double click, transform, rotate. How much? 120 degrees, just like this, and transform, rotate 120 degrees. Now the lines. The lines are this way. Okay, I don't need anything else. Again, rotate. It's like this. Transform, rotate. It's like this. Okay, so we got pattern for the shield. We can make all lines thin. Okay, we can also hide all these segments. We don't need them anymore. So hide these segments. Now points, edit, select all points. We need only these 2 points because these were the first points we created. Display, hide points. Okay. Okay. And now what we missing? We are missing lines here. So Control Z. Okay. And we have to add these segments here. Okay, and because I don't have it, points here, so double click, take this segment, transform, rotate it like this, and now we have everything. Again, edit, select all points, unselect these 2 points, hide points. Okay, it looks quite fine. So what we do, we just select everything, and then this is pattern for shield. Okay, I think I did correctly. Now let's go back. Okay, the pattern for the shield, how we can apply it. Look, no, not this way. Okay, okay, and now can we cut it out? Perfectly fine. So we made this thing correctly. Okay, and the last piece is the dodecagon. Okay, so let me to go to a new page, file, document options, at duplicate page 11. Okay, remove everything. Okay, and now I have to do this part. But what I will do, okay, I will just take a regular dodecagon because we created it many times already. Okay, that's my regular dodecagon. And what I will do, I will just do line this, okay, and that is all what I need. I will do just a quarter of the dodecagon because this will be the most convenient way of doing this pattern. Okay, so yes, okay, I should have all these edges equal, edges red color. So remove this part. Now display line style medium and display color red. Okay, I don't need the extra points, so hide these points. Now this is what I needed. This is the quarter, and now what I will do, I will make it bigger so you will be able to get it properly. And now what I do, 4 lines. I need the 4 lines. Okay, and then the 4 lines. Okay, so I think I got almost everything, only just double click and make reflection. And this is the whole network that I needed for making this pattern. Now display, but color make it black. So internal part, it is this. In fact, I could just make reflections and copy everything to the right, but it is fine. Just a few seconds more and things will be going. And now just this way. Okay, and now just like this and this way, and then here just this way. Okay, now what else I have to do? Look how this thing is going. I should close this pattern here. Okay, so this is what, okay, and now you have to be very careful. Okay, because these lines are crowded. Okay, so For this reason, I was making it very, very large. Okay, and that is all. Now, select all lines and this way. And now just display hide lines. Okay, and then what I did, I got the pattern for this part. Now let me to finish the interlace. Okay, so I'm going this way. Now this is over. I'm going like this and again like this. Now going this way and then going over. Okay, and then I'm over, so I should go down just like this. Okay, so I got what I wanted to have. Now these short segments, and then I can just make whatever I need. It means the polygons and then just like this. Okay, and then this will be the yellow polygon, but I will make it later. Okay, so okay. Do I cut? No, that was wrong. Okay, you remember what I was talking about? Okay, because at some stage I will have to divide. I may have to divide. Okay, so I have to be sure. Now, I think everything is fine. Now double click, transform, reflect, double click these two polygons, reflect, and then transform, reflect. Okay, you see, I got all these things, all these polygons correctly done. So I will take this color, display color, the other one, that is fine. Now, what I can do, I can just make these colors just this way. So display color, the other one, and then just like this. And now again, double click, transform, reflect, double click, transform, reflect. Okay, and that is fine. Do we have to put these decorations? Look, we will have trouble with these decorations in the future, but at least here we can do it. So let's make a square. Okay. And then just like this. Listen, I don't need these squares because I will have to make half of the squares, so just this way, and now this one. Okay, so that's one square. And which color I prefer? I prefer the one that looks like this. Display color, the other one. Okay, and then I think it is too dark. This is fine, and then it's fine. Okay, and then it is fine. Okay, now I think I can stop with this. I don't want to deal with these triangles because I will be splitting them here on the bottom. So now select everything. Display line style thin. Okay. Now select all these. Yes, okay. And then this. So I am hiding lines, red lines. Okay. And now the points. Which points I wish to leave. So points, edit, select all points. Now I want to have these 2 points. Okay. Now what is happening with this point? Okay. So this one. Okay. Select all points. Like I said, keep this point and this one, and keep these points because we will adding something later. So display hide points. Now my points here. Yes, okay. And this one is okay. Let's check if this point is correct. Independent, and this one is independent. Okay, fine. So that is my another tool. So dodecagon pattern. Okay, I got it, and now let me to go to the testing page. Now let's see what I can do with my dodecagon tool. It is fine, and it is fine. So you see, we got whatever we wanted. Now it is time to make the whole pattern. I'm going to the page where I have clean pattern without clean tessellation, and I just take this page. This is page 8, add, duplicate it, okay, and then remove everything. Okay, now what I will do, selecting everything like this, transform, reflect. Okay, I can hide this thing, but I don't want to do it at the moment. So, okay, and why I'm doing this? Because you see, we are talking about the interlace pattern. So if we are talking about interlace pattern, we need 4 copies of our tessellation. Now, what is this point? Okay, remove it. Okay, there's something wrong. Okay, fine. Now, select all segments. Okay, edit, action button, hide and show. So now I have my tessellation, huge tessellation, and I can always hide these segments, which will be quite convenient for us. I can do the same with points if you like, but it doesn't really matter. So File, Document Options, Add, Duplicate, page 13, and now let's start filling it. Dodecagon pattern. Yes, okay. Yes. Okay. So we do this. Yes, okay. And then we do this. You see how quickly everything went. Okay. I left these points, but later I will tell you why. Now the shield. Okay, that's the shield, the shape, but the pattern for the shield. It is this one. It is this one. Okay. Yes. And now, yes, and then, okay. We are lucky. Everything is going fine. Okay, and another shield is coming here. Okay, let's check if we made our shield correctly. Yes, we made. Now the rest. The rest is easy. Okay, so square. Each square should get its own pattern. It is like this. Yes, okay. And then the square is coming here, and the square is coming here. And finally, the triangles. Where we have triangles, with the triangles, there's no trouble at all. So we have our triangles just done this way. We have a lot of elements in this pattern, but this is the nature of this pattern. You can do it also without these elements, these tools that I made, but I think it is more fun doing it this way. And now, okay, and then, okay, and two more triangles and we'll be done. Okay, fine. Now the background. You can have the background in any way you want, okay? So first I will hide my segments. I will just still draw the edges of the pattern because I will need them. Okay, and now what I do. Large polygon, just like this. Okay, now what to do with this? Send it to the back. Okay, take this polygon and apply a color like this. Display color, the other one. Okay, now it looks fine. So I can hide whatever is outside. I can also hide everything what is outside. Okay, and I don't need these things. Hide paths. Okay, and then display hide these things. Okay, listen, I left a lot of points, so we can add something. For example, I made a triangle, so I can make now. Okay, this is the tool that I made before starting this talk. Okay, now I have also a square that is coming here. Okay, so you see, I could get precisely whatever I wanted to have here. Now the corners, okay, what I want, the yellow triangle, okay, and then you see here you have to fight a bit to get things done, okay, but if you don't like it, we can always make anything like this. Okay, and then this way. Okay, so at least there is some decoration. But you can make even more complicated decoration for everything here. So, okay, Okay, fine. And now we got to this point. What can we do? Points, edit, select all points, edit, action button. Okay, so make a button to hide these points. Okay, so this one is done. Okay, and then segments, edit, select all segments, display color black because the red color was for the edge, and that is our pattern. That is our pattern for the Damascus Umayyad Mosque. You can make it on your own with wider lines, so you will close it this, but that is up to you. Now I'm just removing my color palette. I am removing my segments, my buttons, okay? So that is this what I wanted to show you here. So this pattern is a good example of developing patterns with regular and semi-regular polygons. And semi-regular polygons. Okay, and okay, just polygons. Just like this. Okay, I'll make it large, just like this. So that is the whole thing. Now, with polygons, with regular and semi-regular polygons, oh, I did something wrong. Why? Okay. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Okay, and now I can hide this thing. Okay. So that's the final pattern. Now, I started talking about regular and semi-regular polygons. You see, in mathematics, you can find that there are hundreds of tessellations with regular and semi-regular polygons. There are really many of them. So you can create as many patterns as you want using regular and semi-regular polygons. So this is something that is worth remembering if you have an evening when you are getting bored. Just try to play with regular and semi-regular polygons and you will get. Regarding of semi-regular polygons, we have here only the shield. There are a few more of them, but it is too early to talk about them. Okay, and I thank you for watching this, if you were watching, and then see you next time. So let me to close everything, save everything. Okay, goodbye, and see you next time.